So we can look at how we might make a pair of trousers with a ruched effect or gathered effect up the side. That would be done through having cord, a pulley or elastic in the side to do that. But what the actual pattern looks like is something like this. So I've taken the front block and copied it around, and I've put slash lines in it. And like most things, we had to do the same on the back. So I've done the same on the back, and I've yet to slash it. How many slash lines you put and how wide they are is a question that you kind of need to answer yourself. I mean, normally these gaps should be the same. I mean, these aren't actually perfect. How much you gather something, how much you pull something in depends on the weight and the character of the fabric, and obviously it's a style choice as well. Now you'll notice on the one that's already been slashed, I've not done any on the hip crutch area. Definitely nothing where the fly is possible if you wanted that. I decided not to do anything on the hip, but it is possible. We would just continue those lines up. So you would then need to have as many slash lines as you want, spaced as far apart as you want. The further they're apart, the less slashes you have. In this scale, they're about 1 centimetre apart. And so with that, I don't think I would be slashing along the seat line because I'm not going into that section. I could though, I could slash here, etc. But we'll just cut through each one of them until we get just to the end and repeat that process. So once you've done that, you would then start slashing and opening the same amount as the front. So you would get a reflection of that. And so then these two lengths would be the same. But as with most things, you don't have to keep to that rule. We could slash this one, and when we open it, it would be longer, but we would then have to gather it more to match. So you would have something that looks less symmetrical and less like a pair of draped curtains and more like somebody has half pulled their curtains on one side and not on the other, perhaps. It depends what kind of look you're going for and stuff. One of the reasons why I haven't done any slash lines up here, especially on the back, is if you've got a lot of fullness over the bum, it just might not be very flattering. But of course we can slash anyway to add things in. We can slash across at the knee and open the pattern up. There is another way of putting the lines on, and these ones have been put on at curve, a bit like when you do something like a cowl, C-O-W-L neckline, and this time again you can decide how far apart the slashes are and how many. So the general rule is the softer, lighter the fabric is, so something like tulle, is the more you need to open the pattern out, the more wider the gaps need to be to allow for the more fullness. The heavier the fabric, the less you need, but again, style choice. So it is the same kind of method. But this time we're opening it and the fullness is kind of curving across the front of the body. So we're getting something like that. These all start to look a bit like fossils. For like pre-exotic, pre-extinct animals, but it's quite a fun method. If you're looking for reference material for this, you would be better to look in women's wear pattern cutting books and anything that was produced in the 1980s will have lots of things like this, because ruching and colouring on sleeves, and dresses and trousers was really popular back then. They didn't sort of make plain clothes in the 80s. Very foo-foo-y, as they used to say.